Hey everyone, Spencer Kaufman here with How To Video Channel. Today I'm going to show you how to remove all of this junk between these concrete slabs. So we have the driveway slab here and the garage slab here. So we're going to remove all of this nasty, I don't even know what it is, silicone, sealant type stuff. We'll get all that dug out and we are going to replace it with some good backer rod and a nice self-leveling polyurethane sealant. So I'm going to show you each of those steps. First, digging this out, coming up next. Here we go. We're going to use this crowbar, try to pry it up and just start pulling this stuff out. Get all this out of the way and remove that. Screwdriver, you can do the same thing with a crowbar or a screwdriver. This will kind of help loosen everything up between the cracks. And then once this is done, we're going to vacuum all this junk up. Here you can see we have all of the junk removed and loosened up. So it's kind of a mess. Looks like there was some styrofoam down in there as well. So we got all that out. Now it's time to get the shop vac and vacuum this up. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button below to stay tuned to future videos from How To Video Channel. All right, so you can see here we have it all cleaned out, and you can tell that there is a little bit of a concrete shelf down there. So normally this would be about 4 inches deep, but right now you can tell right there, there is some of the concrete from probably a footing that is sticking out right there. So the best course of action, once you have this all cleaned out, is to lay down a little bit of sand in the bottom, because right here, this is about that deep. So that's about 3 inches deep. So what we're gonna do is lay down about 1 inch of clean, dry sand all along the bottom, then place some backer rod in there, and then on top of that will be our silicone. So I'll show you what I'm saying right here. We've got some nice clean sand in a tube. That's going to go down first. Then there will be a backer rod. So make sure you get the right size. This is 1 inch because our hole, our gap is 1 inch. Then on top, we will put some self-leveling concrete. So those are the materials that we're going to need. What I'll do now is lay some sand in there and then show you what that looks like. So you can see here as the sand goes in, it falls down the little gap there. So it's probably going to take more sand than you realize, and you want to make sure it's fine. You can see here it filled, so we'll spread that out. But we want to fill in these little gaps here, so that way it maintains a good base for that backer rod. And also our freeze thaw won't move, and then as these slabs move independently of each other, we won't separate or pull apart the silicone like it was before. So fill that up with sand, make sure that that crack is full, and then get a nice good layer all the way across. All right, look at the sand go. It's pouring in, filling in, so we're filling in all the gaps underneath. It just keeps sinking down. It's also important that your sand is really dry. We've put almost an entire 70-pound bag of sand in this area, so something's definitely getting filled in. But keep doing that, and you should find the bottom. You'll notice here there's a little bit of a gap. One is a little higher than the other. So what you could do is put some spray foam under this, but it could cause problems here with lifting up the slab. So let the sand keep filling in, and you will find a bottom, and then you'll be able to put that backer rod on there. So keep filling this in, and it will take as much sand until it rises up. You can see here the rest of this looks really good. You want to fill that sand so there's about 1.25 inches left of space from the top. That way you can lay in the 1 inch backer rod all through here, and then have room, about 1/4 inch of room, for that self-leveling polyurethane sealant to spread out over the top and really fill this gap. Once you have the sand in your gap and you've made sure that it is as level as possible, you are ready to begin putting in the backer rod. This backer rod is basically a pool noodle, a small, tiny little pool noodle, foam sealant. It's a gap filler. Now, the point of the sand is so that you don't need to use as much backer rod. Also, the sand helps fill in all of those little gaps. Then you can put the backer rod on top and then the sealant on top of that. Now, the reason you do that is because if you filled this whole gap with sealant like somebody did before,
then what happens is as these slabs move independently, the sealant reaches its breaking point and breaks away, separates, gets water down in there, then it freezes, causes cracks, all kinds of additional problems that you want to avoid. So if this is done correctly, the sand that you put in here should not really get wet. Of course, it might absorb some moisture from the slabs, a little seepage, things like that. But this sand is going to be primarily to help ensure that anything, when it does move, any gaps are filled because the sand will sink a little bit. This backer rod goes in above the sand so that the polyurethane, right here, polyurethane sealant, has a nice bed to rest on so that it won't reach its breaking point as these two slabs move independently. So the next step is to start laying in this backer rod. This is a pretty easy process. Simply push it in, and then it's going to take some trial and error depending on your depth. But you want to make sure that you have enough room that the sealant will go over the top of this. Now you can see here we have two different levels. This is going to most likely be the case on any restored slabs unless you try to raise this slab, which you probably won't be able to because of your jams. So you put this in here so that it is about flush or a little below your lower slab, because then as you lay the sealant on, the sealant is going to create an arch or a bridge from here to here. You may not get it all the way to the top, but it'll be a little bit lower, so then that sealant will create a nice cascade for the water to go. So simply go ahead, push that backer rod in all the way down your line, making sure that it is as level as possible. So if you get a spot where for some reason it would look like this, you'll need to dig out or move some sand around under there. That's not what this looks like, but that was an exaggeration so you can see how it looks. So I'll show you that backer rod in place coming up next. After you have your backer rod nicely laid in place all along the joint, or you can see here, all the way down, then you're ready for self-leveling polyurethane sealant. So lay this on top of the backer rod. Now it is meant to have no more than a 3/8 inch joint. That is without backer rod. So technically this would be a 1 and then 3/8. You can lay 3/8 on top of that. That's what the manufacturer recommends. 3/8 inch sealant depth. So what we're going to do is lay on here about 3/8 inch of sealant all the way along, and that is going to bridge the gap between the concrete and the concrete. So you can see we'll just squirt it right like this, right down. It is self-leveling, so it should work itself down. Now because it is self-leveling and this is such a big depth, you'll probably want to do 2 layers. One, which it's going to pool up on this side. Then once it dries, you could do a final coat right on top that would kind of smooth it all over. So I'll show you what it looks like once we have the first layer applied, which hopefully would be the only layer. There you have it. A beautifully laid, self-leveling line of polyurethane sealant that is going to seal and flex as each slab independently moves. Now you can see there are some spots where it looks like it's a little lower because the concrete, like for here for example, or there it's not filled quite in, or maybe like here you could go a little higher. So what you could do here, because this is self-leveling, maybe right there, is in these spots, once this hardens, you could put another layer on. You don't want to go too deep, because if you do right now, then it could run over. And so because it's self-leveling, it's going to level out. But if you wait till it hardens, and then you could put another coat on, like maybe in this area, right here, some of those spots where it looks a little lower, to make it have a nicer edge where this is all chewed up. That is personal preference. I'm going to do it because it's going to look much nicer. It'll look more like this, where it's just a smooth seal right across the top. But right now, it would be perfect as it hardens, but you can see here, Some of the old stuff is still right here. You could take a wire brush, well, you would have taken a wire brush and like really scrubbed that off, or you could take a little bit more of the self-leveling and bring it up to that level right there, and it would come right down nice, just a beautiful line. And that'll also help water cascade out of the garage on this rather than sit in this little trench as well. So if you have any questions or comments, please post them below and I'll do what I can to help you out. But for now, that is how to replace the joint between a driveway slab and a garage slab with sand, backer rod, and polyurethane self-leveling sealant.